I'm the lead character in my own story.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
You are the hero of your own story or whatever.
That's right. We all are. I was going to try and do a Ukrainian accent, but then I was like, man.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I'm sure I would do better than Ewen
Bremner's? Yeah, probably.
But not worth it.
I applaud your decision to not do that.
Thank you.
So we're back. Part 2 of our breakdown of Fool's Gold. 2008, Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey, comedy. Yeah.
Movie. Let's just say movie.
Movie, yeah. That's better. Yeah, movie.
Yeah, it's definitely feature length and then some.
So where did we leave off? Let's just get right to it, right? So we left off, a ton of exposition about this treasure and...
Yep. We decided to go find it. Going on an adventure.
30 minutes into the movie. All right. And then we go right into a yacht montage, right?
Yep.
And they bring their buddy, the Ukrainian guy, Alphonse, aboard, right?
Yep.
Came up, and then there's just them doing some scuba diving, right?
Yep. I wrote montage of boring. A lot of shirtless components. Some old man stuff. They make some jokes at Nigel's expense. He can't swim very well. Right.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
And some more boat stuff. Who cares?
And we're still in the yacht, right?
Yeah, and this one was like, why is he explaining the island is a triangle? Like, what?
You see, the island, it's a triangle.
That's literally like how this next scene starts. And apparently Big Bunny owns the whole island. We get that as some amount of exposition that doesn't matter. And then we get a whole story about how like they're trying to make him to be a threatening character. Like they're like, oh, didn't he murder someone named Fuzzy Dice? And you're like, well, no, he was acquitted of that. And you're like, well, didn't he murder all the witnesses?
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Sorry, it's Kevin Hart. I can't. He's not
so stupid.
He's not selling me on the character there.
No.
But yeah, so then she flips out too, right? Because she's like, I'm not sure why she flips out. She flips out because she finds out that he owns the island, and he's like, what if we're lugging a treasure up right in front of his house, whatever? And the guy's like, it's the ocean. Well,
and like justifiably, in my opinion, she's flipping out because in that whole one of the few threads I followed in that last exposition scene that we did on the boat was that one of their big scores that they got, they ended up losing because somebody else like owned the property that they found the treasure on.
Yeah.
And you're like, no wonder she's mad. You just talked about how you did this. Yeah. You got fucked by ownership on the last thing. Like what don't you get? Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Why don't you understand?
Yeah.
He's an idiot. That's why.
Yeah. And then we get Gemma saying, hey, look at this.
Yeah. And then we get Ray Winstone showing up in his boat, right?
Yep. It's the pirates.
Yeah, and isn't this? And so she comes. It's like this weird scene where Gemma says something stupid, and Kate Hudson snaps on her. It's just like, don't be a bimbo your entire life or something like that.
Well, she says, "What are we looking for?"
Oh yeah,
and that's when she's like, "The fucking treasure!" Like,
don't be an idiot your entire life.
Yes. She said, "There's better ways to get attention than acting like a bimbo."
Yes. Yeah, she says that to Donald Sutherland because he's just like right there. Like, okay.
Alfonso's like, are there?
Alfonso, what's going on here?
The worst.
So then McConaughey, he sneaks off. He goes scuba diving there underwater because he spots some dudes down there, right? And they're setting charges to blow up the entire ocean and create a crevasse.
I think that's right.
So you can let the Kraken out and all the kaiju, right? What are they called? And that's how Pacific Rim starts.
That's right.
And then Kate Hudson sees that he's down there. He's trying to, screw up their charges plan here. And she goes and talks to the daughter, and she's like, hey, look at these people that are around you. They're stupid too. They're the help. And you can go delay them. And the daughter comes out, she's in a bikini, and she flirts with the other guys in the boat. I don't know. That's
that's good enough.
Yeah.
Skipped a few things there, but that's fine. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Was there anything else that was important there? I don't.
I was just looking at, but no, not really.
No.
So it's fine.
So he's down into the water, right? And one of the guys lets the charges go off. And this is where you get the sense that Ray Winstone's character, Mo, and Matthew McConaughey, they're just two guys who, they're seems like they're buddies. Like they're not like enemies. They're just treasure hunters. Yeah, competitive treasure hunters. Like he doesn't want him dead. He doesn't want to kill him. He's like, if anyone's gonna kill him, I'm gonna kill him.
Right. And the guy's like, right, okay. The push the button and makes more explosions. Go on.
Yeah. like what? Nice. Straight from the trailer. Then McConaughey gets Looney Tuned into the air.
Yep.
Right.
Onto the boat. Yep.
Onto Mo's boat. And then because he found a sword down there, right? He found the 1715 sword. Yeah. And then we get the shot from the trailer. Sword goes up in the air and lands right between the daughter's legs. So
yep, you were right. It was not Kate Hudson.
Yeah, that's all stuff from the trailer. And yeah, he lands on Mo's boat, and Mo's like, "How are you feeling?" He's like, "I feel pretty good." And he just punches him, knocks him out. So it's the third knockout.
The third knockout. Yeah, I think there's at least one more.
Yeah,
but his brain is mush by the end of this movie.
Absolutely. So I think
CTE for days.
I think right now we're about the halfway point. I think.
Yeah,
right?
just about. Yeah.
Okay.
This is when there's like a quick shot of later at the bar where Finn and Alphonse are talking about how like, well, you can't hit an old man, like talking about punching Mo. And
he's 56. This isn't what's going on here.
Yeah. So we cut to the kitchen, and the our chef heroes here raving about Finn for whatever reason. Like, wow, that guy's so cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
like, oh man, the power of his raw sexuality. Like you can tell how much he wants Tess, and you're like, I don't care about this.
Yeah. And then they're having dinner and drinking some wine at the table there, right? And the whole crew
got Nigel's birthday.
Yeah, I don't
like they glossed over that immediately.
This was just so dumb. Just dumb. Yes. There was like a Ukrainian prostitute joke. There was dumb daughter making an America joke. I don't know. It's just
yeah. Just to give the listeners a little bit of context there. So the actual like line by line is basically Alphonse is like, "Do we have any prostitutes?" Nigel's like, "Sorry, no," but like kind of earnestly says it, which is weird. And so he's like, "Well, maybe we can call some." And then that's when Gemma flips out. It's like, "Are you serious? We're not in France. We're in America." Like, is that a joke because he's Ukrainian and doing a bad accent, or
I don't know. What's happening?
And then like, so Finn and Tess get up from the table to leave, and he kisses Gemma on the forehead weirdly.
Yeah.
Which I was like, what? And like leaves it to father-daughter time apparently.
Yeah.
Where like this is the first time they seem like they're getting along. Like she's like, "No, I'm actually having fun." Like he's like, "Do you still play gin rummy?" She's like, "Only when I'm high." He's like, "Great, let's play."
Take some money from you, kid. And we cut to McConaughey shirtless, laying in bed, and then cut to Hudson. She's in bed. She's a little
restless, and
then she goes and like goes to his room to talk to him. I don't know. She says some stuff there.
She's like, "I wanted to tell you how magnificent you were today." And then he's not there.
He's not there. So
yeah. So then upstairs, meanwhile, Gemma wins at Rummy and apparently wins $28,000.
I guess I was
when he said "let's play," he did say like
penny a card deal or something. I thought
something
he said
like
$1.
that. Yeah. $1 a card or something like that. Yeah. And so she's like, "All right, and this is like 28 grand," and he's like, "Okie dokie." And he starts writing a check, and she's like, "Well, it's all for charity." And then he makes like a weird joke about how he's like, "Well, you've always been good at like getting me to write big checks, just like your mother."
Yeah.
And then she gets really mad and defends her mother. It was like, she was just a stupid blackjack dealer from Nebraska. Like, of course, she didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah, you had to leave a $500 tip just to have a drink with her, you know?
Right, exactly. And so then she's like, "I don't want anything from you anymore except food and clothes and rent and travel money."
Okay.
It's like, okay. He's like, right. I love you and your mother.
And your mother.
And then she walks away.
And then we're at the Pelican Bar here. We're back at the bar.
Yep.
And then Matthew McConaughey, this is stuff from the trailer. He sneaks up on Curtis, right, with the old 1715 sword.
Even this is like played slapsticky. Like even though it's like these guys tried to kill you earlier.
Yeah.
Like actually. and you shot them earlier. But nope, it's still played like he's he's got the sword around his neck and he's like, "You're talking in my deaf ear."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, sorry," and like goes to switch ears, and then Curtis like throws like pickle juice in his eyes or something.
Yeah, I thought it was soap. I don't know. Yeah, something like
maybe.
that. Whatever. Yeah,
some kind of liquid in his eyes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and they fight. Theo realizes that they're having a fight in the other room, and so he goes to help, and it's from the trailer.
From the trailer. When was the last time you sharpened this thing? 1715.
Yeah. It's a dull sword. So Theo pulls out a gun, and basically Finn's like, "You guys got to take me to Big Buddy." And you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's what we're gonna do anyway." Except for new guy shows up and knocks him out cold for the fourth time.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. That's the okay. With a what was it? A cricket paddle or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Be dead. You're not gonna be like
your brain is mush.
A cricket paddle to the face, like you're just dead.
Yes. Nope. Very resilient. Matthew McConaughey's skull.
Yeah. Looney Tunes keep tuning. And then we're in like a dock warehouse type place, right? And we get
more exposition about how this new guy is named Cyrus, and Theo is mad that there's a new guy, so Cyrus shoots him, and that's the end of Theo.
That's the end of Theo,
unfortunately.
R.I.P.
Which they write up as restructuring.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a little funny, but
yeah.
And then basically Finn's like just trying to buy time for himself. He offers 10% of the treasure to Big Bunny.
Yeah.
And Big Bunny's like, "How about I just not kill you?"
Yeah.
And like, that's the deal. And I'll keep the treasure.
I think that was from the trailer too.
Yep. It sure was.
Oh man. Then we're back in the yacht, and he gets shirtless McConaughey. He's either knocked out or shirtless for most of this movie. And this is straight from
this is from the trailer too.
Yeah.
She's like, "How much do you owe him exactly?" And he's like, "Oh, you know." And he's like, I don't know anything. And she's like, "No, but actually." And he's like, $62,000. Well,
how many fanatics is that?
Enough. And she's basically mad again, and he asks if they're finished for real, and she's like, "Sure are."
And then it's next day, right? And we get like we're just almost kind of montage-y
a little bit, yeah,
right? Because they're doing scuba diving, finding some junk on the bottom of the ocean.
Yep, everyone gets a lesson on how to scuba dive, apparently.
Yeah, and then everyone's kind of a lone montage too. More scuba diving, more searching, and then Kevin Hart flying a plane. I was like, I don't know why this is funny, but because I think it's just so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's like a couple days go by basically.
Yeah,
right? And Kevin Hart. I don't know when he got his pilot's license, but he's like riding a seaplane around, being like, good.
Yeah, keep digging. Yeah.
So stupid.
Oh my god! And then we're back at the bar, and a storm's a coming, right?
Well, storm is here.
Storm is here. Yeah, storm is raining. It's pouring. Gangs
raining
out.
heavily. They show you the boats. They show you how much it's raining in the ocean, just so you have like oh wow, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then Tess decides to pick a fight, which I don't really understand why. She's just like, she's like, maybe I don't get it. Like, let's just say I'm a Dutch frigate. And like, how come we can't see it? Even though it's like the clearest waters imaginable, like the Caribbean Ocean is so clear.
Yeah.
And basically they all agree. They're like, well, it's not there. Like the treasure just must not be here.
Yeah, it's like revelation time, because we also in the beginning of the scene, the captain from the boat, or one of the guys from the boat, the crew member, he comes in and tells
that's like right now.
Yeah. And he tells him
move the boat.
We move the boat. Yeah,
there'll be a taxi that'll take you to the north side of the island, but we move the boat up to the other side.
Yeah.
And Nigel's like, yes, I've grown fond of not sinking. God damn it. And then Gemma's like, oh, they moved the boat close to the shore. And then that's when Finn's like, of course, you're a genius.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. She's not a genius.
No, she's an idiot. And then, he runs out and talks to the captain of the crew member. And he's like, why'd you pick North Beach? You know,
because storm. Right.
Okay.
And then, so basically we realized that Sebastian, our hero here, ran the ship aground in order to save the treasure. That's the whole premise. So then from the trailer again,
the money joke, right? You don't have $1,000, whatever.
Yep. He's shirtless again. 6-7
times. Yep.
They're diving more.
More diving.
Which then they
start finding some stuff.
Detectors. Yep.
Yeah, and they find some of the Aurelia?
Oh my God, so frustrating. Yeah. So the Aurelia is what they've been looking for the whole time. We haven't mentioned it yet because who cares? But yeah, that's the name of the ship that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And then so they just start finding things that are labeled Aurelia.
Yeah.
Oh, how convenient. Mm-hmm. And then it's all just very clearly labeled. You're
yes.
Oh, great.
It's the 1700s label maker. Let's just tag everything so we know what the ship was.
Yeah, so stupid. And then you get from the trailer again. If anybody finds out, we're screwed. We found it. We discovered it. And then they spend 5 minutes screaming. And you're like, go good. No one will know that.
Yeah. No one will hear you. And then we cut to the next day. We're on the beach, and they're just still finding stuff. Right, more shirtless McConaughey, and they're kind of piecing some things together. And then from the distance, we get the binocular shot of Cyrus kind of keeping an eye on them, right?
Yep, exactly. They talk about burning the ship, and they must have taken the stuff inland, maybe to a cave.
Yeah.
Gemma says something about religious freedom being important, which I wrote down but don't care about.
The scene was annoying.
McConaughey's still shirtless. Then they go and discover the oldest building on the island because they're like, oh, it must be under here or something.
Well, is that before or after the Gemma has a moment of realizing the precious gem was named after?
That's the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is right here when Gemma's like, wait a second, I just figured it out. And you're like, oh, the thing that the movie's about? Nope. She realized that the name Precious Gem of the yacht is similar to Gemma. And so
oh my God.
He's like, you must have named the boat after me. And he's like, sure.
Unconsciously. You did it unconsciously.
He's like, actually, there's a lot of thought that goes into naming. Yeah, unconsciously. You're right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I guess they're showing them kind of making up a bit. I don't know. It's dumb. It's stupid. I just want to move on. So then they get to the church, the oldest building, right? It's like a church up there on the island there.
Yep. They got the scooter there.
Yep. And they meet a guy, one of the priests there, and then they're just down in the basement reading stuff, right? It's all shots from the trailer, right?
From the trailer, yeah.
And then they have a revelation that the treasure is actually in the cemetery. And then they have awkward sex in the basement of a church.
Yep. And there's still a half an hour left.
Oh my God. And then we're outside of the cemetery hours later because now it's nighttime, right?
Yep. They haven't found the treasure yet. And they're complaining about how they had sex in a church and they're not married and they're digging up a grave. So they're basically doing a triple sin.
That's fun. And then she literally trips over the next clue. It's a rock.
Next clue that is labeled Aurelia.
Because
everything is labeled Aurelia.
Oh my God. And then they do some more digging and they find some stuff in there. They do some more reading. Right, another book in there they read.
Well, again from the trailer. What if it's a body? What if it's a head?
Yeah,
and then nope. He opens the thing. It's like a watch and some crap in a notebook.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, but I guess that's the only clue they need because they read his diary, and this part is boring as hell.
Yeah, and then Bunny shows up. Right, Big Bunny shows up. Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I mean, I guess before that they kind of realize that it's like where the treasure actually is. They're like, oh. There's a blowhole. It's got to be this blowhole thing.
Yeah.
And then that's when Kevin Hart shows up, holds him up at gunpoint.
This is all from the trailer. There's nothing really new here. They have like a little fight with Cyrus there, and shovel swinging and stuff like that.
They get away. They hate Kevin Hart in the nuts. All that stuff.
Yep, it's classic. She gets knocked off the scooter because she doesn't duck the branch. Yep. His scooter him and the scooter go off the cliff. The scooter explodes like a Michael Bay movie, and they all think that he's dead.
She screams, "No!"
No.
But they capture her and bring her to Kevin Hart, and now it's somehow.
This movie is so boring.
Really, it really is. Like listeners, I know, like. We're trying to. I mean, we are glossing over a lot of the movie, but also like you don't care. Trust me.
No. Yeah. So they take her kind of hostage, right?
Yeah. They're making her dig a hole, or they're making her. They want her to dig in the hole, in the blowhole.
Yeah.
But it's rocks.
Yeah. They're gonna.
What?
They're gonna throw her down there, right? So.
Yeah. Which is like also when she gets down there, it's like full of bugs. Weirdly.
Yeah, like little crabs or something, whatever it was.
Was it crabs? That makes more sense.
I think it was crabs.
I was pretty confused. I was like, where are all these like ocean bugs coming from?
So they drop her down there. She got the rope, whatever. And then Cyrus is like, whatever. And he drops the rope down there too. And Curtis is kind of like, wow.
Say hi to your husband.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And Curtis kind of tries to save her.
Yeah.
But they both end up pulling guns on each other, Cyrus and Curtis, and nothing gets solved.
Much like the good, the bad, and the ugly, have a little standoff.
That's right. And meanwhile, she's swimming around with a rope and finds the treasure. But the water is like
gonna blow
up and gonna blow. So she braces herself. And like, also, she's been swimming underwater now for like 5 minutes. How long can she hold her breath for? Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's when gold coins ran from the sky, and Cyrus and Curtis are excited because treasure. And then there's a shoe. So they're like, she must be dead.
She must be dead. Yeah, whatever. But she's still down there alive. And then we got McConaughey. He cut back to him, right? And he calls Mo up, right? And he's like, "They got her, man. They got her."
Yeah. He says it's bad.
It's bad. And I know where the treasure is.
Yep. And so they're cooperating now. The daughter is scared about daddy for some reason. Like, did he get injured or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think she's just scared, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we get the support. The support crew is basically is teaming up, right? We got Mo shows up, and then we get the Alphonse there, and they're gonna go and help get Kate Hudson back, right? That's the plan, at least.
Exactly. Yep.
And one of the chefs goes along too.
Yep. So we're with Tess now. Yeah. Apparently, he's an expert diver.
Yeah.
So they're trying to dive while timing the geysers, right? Like she's trying to dive basically while they're doing that.
Yep.
And then she sees other people that are underneath the water, which is presumably Kevin Hart's crew, right? Like
it's Cyrus and Curtis.
And so Finn's running around screaming for help. Kevin Hart shoots at him. Tess is screaming for somebody to help. I feel like this is when I think I might have just like blended the rest of the movie into like one thing. Cause like,
because it's just one continuous.
It's quick.
It's the big, climax moment, right? So he's running down, he jumps into the blowhole to go save her, right?
Then they like strangle him underwater and stab him or something.
Yeah, there's a little underwater fight sequence, and they take his scuba gear, Cyrus's, and Cyrus gets blasted by the water's coming through and gets shot out through the blowhole. Brutal.
This is my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, okay, this is mine too. Yeah,
this is when I was like, I died laughing because they like, basically they just like, the geyser just like shoots up like a big blood smoothie. Yeah. And you're like, what? Like so uncharacteristic of the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on?
Like this is like this, it takes a really dark turn in this scene.
Yeah. And Kevin Hart is like, his biplane, he's like standing on his biplane there, he's doing the old Kevin Hart gonna vomit, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, then we jump back underwater with McConaughey and Kate Hudson there, and they're like, hey, there's the treasure. And he's like, oh, damn, there's the treasure. And then Curtis, I think, brings a box up to Kevin Hart of treasure. Right. He's like, oh, man, here's some treasure.
Opens it up. Yeah, he's very excited about the box of gold.
And then Mo and the boys show up, right?
Yep, exactly. And he's going to pirate Kevin Hart, I guess.
I don't know. There's a little gunfight, I guess.
But then Mo gets shot with a harpoon.
Yeah, he goes underwater because he sees Curtis, I think, or he sees Curtis fighting with I forget how it worked out, but yeah, he goes under and Curtis shoots Mo with a harpoon or something.
Ruthless. Right? Yeah, like through his like thigh.
Yeah.
Like really aggressive. Yeah.
So they battle underwater for a bit, right?
Yep. And then Kevin Hart drops all the treasure into the ocean and it lands on
our
friends.
He spills the whole thing over, and then Kate Hudson is like now at the plane, like she surfaced, and
Kevin Hart grabs her, right?
Yeah, because she surfaced and they're hanging out by the plane, and he grabs her while Curtis and McConaughey are fighting, and Mo they're all fighting underwater.
Right, exactly. And so she attacks him then, and he knocks her out.
Yeah, they're in the plane, throws her in the plane. They take off, or they're about to take off, like a very, very long runway of water to take off.
Right.
And then the daughter and the other chef just show up out of nowhere on jet skis.
Yep.
And McConaughey's like, give me a ride, get me to that plane. It's like, what is going on right now?
Yep. So then like her and Finn make a plan to attack the plane.
Yeah, basically they're going to speed up on the jet ski to catch up to the plane before it takes off, and he's going to jump onto the plane.
Right, which somehow kind of works.
Yeah, he gets on there.
And this is when like the chefs are like, now that's a man who loves his wife. And like, this is
what is happening.
So frustrating.
Get to the port side. Get to the port side. Port what? The left side. Land to the left.
Yep. So Kevin Hart opens the door to shoot Finn, but Tess pushes him out the window, and you're like, "Oh, that was easy." But he does shoot the gas tank, and then there's gas everywhere. So at this point, it's again from the trailer. Finn is in the cockpit with Tess. She's like, I don't know how to fly a plane. And he's like, "Yeah, well, do these things. PlayStation taught me." And then they don't know how to land.
Yeah.
So in the ocean, meanwhile, Curtis is celebrating being rich. He's like, "I did it. I found the treasure." And then Mo's like, rolls up with a shotgun and is like, "You're not rich, but
you ain't rich, buddy."
Yep. So then we go back to the plane where Finn says, "Stay calm. We're not going to die," but like not necessarily true.
Yeah.
like it's so stupid.
Yeah. It is.
So they basically kiss and like almost end up crashing even faster. And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna bring it in." Mo is watching from like everyone's watching basically at this point because they can't do anything. They're just watching the plane, and he's like, "Pull up, boy, you gotta pull up." And so he like kind of does, but like,
I love how that's the answer for every plane situation in every movie. It's always pull up.
Yeah, but they crash anyway and sink the plane, and everyone's sad.
I was hoping it would just explode and they would die. I was like, wow, ruthless. No, they're still alive. They surfaced a couple seconds later.
Yep. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I've learned my lesson. Will you marry me?" And she's like, "You haven't learned anything, but yes." And you're like, "Wait,
what?
That's how this movie is going to end?" And so they kiss and make up. He's like, "Thanks, baby," or whatever. And you're like, cut to the future, I guess.
Yeah, and then it just like cuts to the future, and it's the future because she's pregnant. And God, I guess
so stupid.
I guess things worked out. And then they're cutting the ribbon for like this museum they opened, the Finnegan Museum or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, yep. And there's treasure everywhere. It's like all the gold and the crap from whatever in the montage. They do another big montage. Pictures of them finding it. They like show you all the stuff that like happened apparently in between, kind of. Weirdly, did you catch this? Like Alphonse is with Gemma now. Kind of upsetting.
I did not catch that. Really?
Yep, he's like, yeah. They're like,
oh no,
I don't know. It's gross. And then like the whole town is celebrating for some reason. Like there's like 50 people like celebrating this museum opening. I was like,
what?
Yeah. It's a museum. Like I don't. Like, what are you talking about? And the music gets like really dramatic.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. And then it cuts to reggae credits. Like that's the end, right?
The end.
I hate this movie so much.
Oh my god.
What? Well, I guess there's nothing else to do in Key West except for all of the outside things to do.
Oh my god, it belongs in a museum. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of it.
I hate it.
Holy shit.
Should we try to fix it?
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's do a little Jared and Russ ameliorate.
Well, for starters, cut the runtime. Cut the runtime so much.
Yeah. Just shave 20-30 minutes off this thing. Hour and a half in and out. Hour 45. I'll give you hour 40, but
no.
Like shave this movie down.
No, cut at least 20 minutes.
You can cut the whole opening, you don't need I don't need to read anything. Cut all that. Cut that because you explain it later anyways, or cut the explanation of it.
Cut them both. Neither matter.
Get rid of the father-daughter storyline. You don't even need that. Just get rid of it. I mean, you could keep it, but you can get rid of it because it's not necessary.
Yep, got that.
Doesn't do anything. They should have done more finding clues and working together through it. Like it just was like them going into a library and reading, them going to a basement and reading.
Yep.
That was it.
A lot of reading.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Watch a movie about people reading.
Yeah. Like, why is this so much reading? Just have actual clues and things to do for them to discover this. Like
flesh out the Mo character a bit. I feel like I wanted to see more about Mo.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Interesting.
That would have been
one of their adventures, right?
Yeah. Or like, I think you could, yeah, definitely. Or make them a little bit more, seem like there's a little more butting heads. Like they've been, they've done it. Obviously they know each other and they have history, but they could have done a better job of showing that. Give
me some more about Kevin Hart's character, maybe. Like,
yeah, why is a rapper who we know why he needs?
Why is there a rapper treasure hunter?
Yeah,
like What? What's his motivation? Yeah.
Yeah. Like what? Like why doesn't he already have a ton of money? Like what?
Yes. Like, well, maybe the $60,000 that Matthew McConaughey owes him is like most of his net worth. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Also, like, like, what's the tone too? Like, this movie was like a slapsticky Looney Tunes moments, and then there's scenes where the guy's getting shot out of a blowhole and it's just pure blood coming out. It's like, what is?
Yeah, awesome.
Like, what is this? What is this movie doing?
That was the best part for sure.
Yeah, and then you have like the two characters, the Theo and Curtis, who are kind of like the bumbling, henchmen.
Yep.
And then I don't know, they just killed Theo like it was no big deal.
Yeah. Like give me more Theo and get rid of his accent, please.
Yeah. But oh man, like most of these things, it's just shave some time. Like some of the stupid jokes, some of the stupid scenes aren't even necessary. Like that back and forth, the yacht, the boat, like just cut that stuff. Like get rid of it.
Yep.
Cheating.
Couldn't agree more.
Anyways, I don't know what else. What else do you got?
Fix the music. I feel like the music bothered me a lot in this movie too. Like there's like very dramatic at times, and then like spy movie thriller at other times,
and then goofy slapsticky something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And then like in between a bunch of like reggae stuff, which was like, oh, I forgot we're in the islands.
Yeah. Like okay. Pick a single theme and just stick with it.
Yep.
A little all over the place.
What else did I hate? Give the divorce a little more runtime. Like I feel like it was just like the first quarter of the movie, they were setting up this big divorce, and then it's over in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they undo it at the end. So like,
yeah, just don't even have it. You can have them.
Don't have it.
You can have them be split up.
Bigger. Yeah. Sure.
Either make it a bigger deal or just have them split up when you start. Like that's an easy. You
solved it when you did the divorce.
Yeah. So it's like, why even have all that? Like,
I don't know. So frustrating.
All right. Well, I don't know. Anything else?
I think more death would have been good. Like would have upped the stakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like have Gemma die or something. Some like unexpected, like put her in the blender, like Cyrus.
Put her in the blowhole blender.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. That was painful. That was brutal. I would not recommend watching this movie. And I'm sorry if you did already. You 48%. Yep. You fools, Gold.
You fools. Gold. That's right.
Yes.
Listen to this episode instead.
Yeah, this is way more entertaining. Are we going to sink this treasure fleet?
Yep. I guess so.
You love it. All right. Well, that's it. We did it. We made it. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with a new movie.
TBD.
In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That or ITMT Pod on Twitter. If you got friends, pass us along to them. We like friends. And wherever you listen, just Spotify, Apple, YouTube's, drop a subscribe.
Please. And if you're on YouTube, leave a comment or something too. I don't know.
Don't tick it, click it,
That's right. Yeah. You can also leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, probably other places, wherever you can.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it. 5 stars is nice. It helps the algorithm recommend us to other people so they can experience the joy you're experiencing right now.
Oh, so much joy.
Or if you're feeling old fashioned, you can send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We read those in Trailer Trash. Hear your voice from our voices.
Know what you sound like through us.
That's right. Or as always, you can go find all the old episodes, 200 whole ones at this point.
Wowza.
201. This is 201.
201. Yeah. Get it.
Check it all out. All the information about the podcast, where you can find us, social media, info about me and Russ, whatever you want. It's all at thismeetsthat.com.